Welcome back to our discussion. So today we're talking to the person who stepped away for a bit.
hmm
You know the story, maybe you took a year off to travel, maybe you tried a new career, or, life just happened.
It happens all the
And
time.
now you're ready to get back in the real estate game, but you're looking at this just massive wall of bureaucracy.
And it is a wall. It's a really common story. But the thing is, the ending isn't always a happy one. People think it's as simple as clicking renew.
But it's not.
It is absolutely not. It's a completely different beast.
Exactly. So our mission today is very specific. We're going to untangle the process of turning an expired Colorado real estate license back into an active one, a money-making one.
Right.
We've pulled our info straight from the state's procedural guides, specifically from the Division of Real Estate,
Or the DRE, as we'll call them.
some DRE. And we've also got some resources from Apex Real Estate School to help with the education side of things.
And look, before we get into the weeds, we have to talk about the stakes here. This isn't just about filling out a form.
Okay.
It's a race against a very specific clock. There is a point of no return that a lot of people just don't see coming until it's way too late.
Ominous. I like it. So let's just be clear on the terminology. The governing body.
Right. We're calling them the DRE, the Division of Real Estate, just keeping it precise.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so paint the picture. I'm a former agent. My license expired, say, a year ago. I want to sell a house next week. Can I just pay a late fee and go?
Almost certainly not. And this is where we have to define our terms right away. There's a huge legal difference between renewing and reinstating.
Unpack that for me.
Yeah?
Because in my head, I'm just getting my license back.
It all comes down to the calendar. So in a normal cycle, renewal opens up 45 days before your license expires. If you miss that date, the division gives you a grace period.
A grace period. Okay, how long?
Exactly 31 days.
So if I'm like 30 days late, I'm still just renewing.
Correct. You'll pay a bit extra, but you're still in the renewal bucket. You're just tardy. But the second you hit day 32,
Oh, there it is.
that's the moment. You are no longer renewing. Your license status officially becomes expired. Now you're in the reinstatement zone.
The danger zone.
It really is. Because once you're there, a much more serious clock starts ticking. This is that point of no return I mentioned. You have exactly 3 years from your original expiration date to reinstate.
3 years. I mean, that sounds like a long time.
It does, but life moves fast. You step away to have a kid, care for a parent, try a new job. 3 years just evaporates. And here's why it matters. If you wait 3 years and 1 day,
Let me guess.
it's game over. You cannot reinstate. You can't pay a fee to fix it. That license is just gone.
Wow. So what does that mean in practice? Am I banned from real estate forever?
Not banned, no. But you're starting from scratch.
What, like all over again?
All over again. You have to reapply as a brand new applicant. That means taking all the pre-licensing education again, the full 168 hours. It means passing the state and national exams again.
Oh, man.
Background checks, fingerprints, the works. In the eyes of the division, you are a rookie.
That is a nightmare scenario.
Mm.
I mean, for someone who was in the industry for a decade, to have to sit for that exam again,
Yeah.
that's motivation to check your dates right there.
It wipes your tenure. So if you're listening and your license expired 2 years ago, you need to be thinking about this now. You're burning daylight.
Okay. So let's say I'm within that 3-year window. I'm safe from the total reset. I go to the DRE website, find the reinstatement application, pay my fee. Boom.
Sure.
I'm back in business, right? Ready for an open house this Sunday.
And that is the trap. That is probably the single biggest misunderstanding we see.
I feel a huge but coming.
It's a huge but. Reinstatement does not equal activation.
Wait, what? Explain that. If I reinstate my license, why isn't it active?
Think of it like this. Reinstatement resurrects the license from the dead. You've brought it back, but it's sort of in a coma.
Okay.
When you successfully reinstate, the division moves your license status from expired to inactive.
Inactive. So I have a license, I paid for it, but I can't use it.
Correct. You cannot perform any license activities, no negotiating, no listing, no showing homes. You are legally a license holder, but you are on the bench.
That feels intentionally complicated. Why the 2 steps?
It's all about consumer protection. When you reinstate, the DRE's just checking your eligibility and your fees. They're not looking at your insurance or your brokerage yet. To be active, you have to prove your coverage.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. So walk me through the steps then. I log into the online services, the e-license system. I submit my reinstatement application. Then what?
First, you wait.
Of course.
The division says it can take up to 10 business days to process a complete application, so don't do this on a Friday expecting to work Monday.
10 business days. That's 2 full weeks of just waiting.
Potentially, yeah. And there's another little detail in the fine print that always catches people. It's a calendar quirk. When you reinstate, your expiration date changes.
It doesn't just add 3 years to my old date.
Nope. Your new expiration date is automatically set to December 31st of the year you reinstate.
Oh, that's specific. So if I reinstate in, say, October.
You're going to have to turn around and renew it again in December.
That is brutal. So I could pay a big reinstatement fee, and then 2 months later I have to pay a renewal fee.
That's exactly right. It aligns you with the standard calendar year cycle. It's a small detail, but if you don't see it coming, you could accidentally let it expire again 2 months later.
Wow. Okay. So I've waited my 10 days. I got the email. My license is now officially inactive. How do I get to active?
You have to file a totally separate application. It's titled Transfer Activate Inactivate License.
The classic transfer activate inactivate form. Just rolls right off the tongue.
It really does, doesn't it? But this form is the gatekeeper. And you cannot activate without entering your errors and omissions insurance, your E&O, into the record.
Right, the consumer protection part.
Exactly. This is where the state verifies that if you're going out to deal with the public, you've got liability coverage. And this is usually where you also identify your employing broker. You're basically saying, I'm back, here's my insurance, and here's who I work for.
So it's a 2-step dance. Step 1, reinstatement app to get to inactive. Step 2, activation app with insurance to get to active.
You got it. And if you forget step 2, you're still sitting on the sidelines.
Okay, let's talk about everybody's favorite part. The money. What's the damage? There's always a stupidity tax for this kind of thing.
There is definitely a premium for procrastination. The division has a tiered fee structure.
Break it down for us.
Okay, tier 1. If you're reinstating within 32 days to 1 year after it expired, the fee is currently $376.50.
Okay. And a normal renewal is what, for comparison?
A standard base rate renewal is about $252. So you're paying around a $125 premium for being late.
Ouch! Manageable,
Wow.
but ouch. What if I waited longer?
That's tier 2. If you're reinstating more than 1 year but less than 3 years after expiration,
And the fee is?
it jumps to $501.
$500. Okay, now we're talking real money. That's double a normal renewal.
It is. And the division is very, very clear about one thing. All application fees are non-refundable.
Meaning, if I pay the $500, but it turns out I'm past the 3-year mark, or I mess up the application.
That money is gone. You really want to double-check your dates before you hit submit.
Are there other hidden costs? Does that second activation step cost money?
It's nominal, but yes,
Yeah.
the transfer activate application is usually $5.
They're nickel and diming us.
It's just administrative costs. But there's another cost to think about. If you're just reinstating, you don't usually need to do fingerprints. But if you miss that 3-year window,
Oh, right, the full reset.
then you're doing fingerprints and background checks all over again. And the DRE notes that can take significantly longer to process. So again, the cost of waiting isn't just fees, it's also time. A lot of time.
I want to touch on something that's purely bureaucratic but has to be common. A lot can happen in a few years. People get married, names change. What if my name is different now? Is that a huge headache?
It's an extra step, for sure. The division has a form for everything. In this case, it's the Change License Level Update Name and/or DBA form.
They really don't have a knack for catchy names.
They value precision over poetry, let's say. You'll have to provide legal documents, of course, a marriage certificate, court order, that kind of thing.
I saw a funny note about nicknames.
Yes, you
Like-
can actually add a nickname to your license record.
So if my name is James, but everyone knows me as Jim, I can add that.
You can, but here's the kicker. The public search on the DRE website doesn't currently support nickname queries. So you can have it on there, but it might not help anyone find you.
Classic. Good to know. What about business entities? What if I had an LLC that expired?
That's a crucial distinction. The sources are clear on this. If you're reinstating a corporation or LLC, it needs its own separate entity account. You can't do it from your individual account.
So I need 2 separate logins.
Exactly. You log into the entity account for the company license and your individual one for your personal license. And remember, the company needs an active responsible broker to function, so you have to fix yourself first.
It's like putting on your own oxygen mask before helping the LLC next to you.
That's the perfect analogy. You can't captain the ship if you're legally inactive.
Okay, so fees paid, forms filled. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. If I haven't sold a house in 2 years, I probably don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Yeah.
Contracts change, laws change.
That is the soft requirement that's actually a hard requirement. The DRE often requires specific education to cure the expiration. You can't just pay your way back in. You have to prove you're up to speed.
And this is where that source from Apex Real Estate School comes in. They seem to have programs just for this.
They do. They have a broker reactivation course and also a broker recovery program.
Recovery program sounds about right after all this paperwork.
It kind of does, doesn't it? But it's vital. The commission updates contracts every single year. If you've been out for 2 years, you have missed 2 major updates. You could be using legally obsolete forms.
And Apex has been doing this for a while.
Over 65 years, according to the source material. And if you're not sure exactly what you need, they actually have a text line.
Oh, really? You can text them.
Yeah, the number is 720-927-7774. For a lot of people trying to navigate this, texting for an answer is probably way faster than digging through the DRE rulebook.
No question. So let's try to synthesize this. Let's create a golden path for the listener who's ready to jump back in.
Let's do it.
Step 1, check the date. Are you under the 3-year cliff?
If yes, proceed. If no, stop. You're starting over.
Step 2, log into eLicense, find that reinstatement application.
And pay the fee. Remember, it's non-refundable.
Step 3, wait. Give it those 10 business days.
And remember, when it's done, your status is inactive. You are not finished.
Step 4, the activation. File that second transfer activate application.
And have your E&O insurance proof ready to go.
Step 5, verification. Once that second form clears, you are officially active and ready to work.
And don't forget the education piece. You have to make sure you've taken the required classes so you actually know what you're doing.
It sounds like a lot of hoops to jump through.
It is, but if you think about the big picture, it really makes sense. This isn't just sales. You're handling massive contracts, huge liabilities, people's life savings.
Fair point. We're not selling toaster ovens.
Exactly. This whole process ensures that anyone holding an active license is current, insured, and accountable. It protects the public. The inactive status is like a safety check. It's the state saying, okay, you paid the fee, but are you actually safe to practice?
Which leads me to a final thought for our listeners. We've talked about the forms and the fees. That's the bureaucracy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've been inactive for a couple of years, the paperwork is the easy part. The hard part is asking yourself, am I actually ready to advise a client in today's market?